What's up, guys? ZakuAurelius here, reporting live once again with another breaking news bulletin. Just days ago, we saw the announcement of some new releases of Gunpla from Bandai that are going to be coming out later this year, like the Real Grade Wing Zero, like the MGSD Aerial, like the HGC Gallus J. There's a lot of really cool stuff coming out, and some of those kits were on display at Bandai's current event that's going on this weekend, the Gundam Next Future Event. Not to mention GBWC Finals is also this weekend, in case anybody forgot about that. But while you guys are seeing some of the photos of those newly announced kits there on display at the event, we did also get the announcement of a new Perfect Grade that's going to be coming out later this year, we can assume. We don't really know any details about the release of this yet, the release date or the price or anything, but we are going to be getting the next PG, and it is going to be another Perfect Grade Unleashed. It's going to be the new Gundam, is going to be coming out probably this December, probably for a pretty high price point. We don't know what it's going to be yet, but basically you can assume that the price of this is going to be more than the PG Unleashed RX-78-2, considering that the new Gundam is a just larger Gundam in general. This one looks like it's also going to be including the fin funnels and a stand for this as well, the base there, and looks like a fairly rudimentary base. Again, we really kind of can't see hardly anything about this at this point, but based on what we can see included there, this is definitely going to be more expensive than the PG Unleashed RX-78. And so, pretty exciting news, I gotta say. I think that this is something that I called. If you guys will roll the tape back on some past episodes of the live streams that Adam and I do over on the USA Gundam TV channel, many a times we've been asked about what the next PG might be, and I've frequently noted how I think that the new Gundam is very long past due for a Perfect Grade release. So it was pretty easy to assume that, probably sooner than later we would get a PG new Gundam, whether it was going to be just a regular Perfect Grade or a PG Unleashed. I didn't really know. A lot of people thought the next PG Unleashed might be a Zaku to go with the Gundam. I would have loved that, but again, if you guys will recall this conversation. Let's see. Okay, next question. What do you guys think the next PG Unleashed might be? I don't know. I think it's gonna be a PG Unleashed Zaku to go with the Gundam. Yeah, that would be cool, but it's probably more likely gonna be the new Gundam, since we haven't got a PG new Gundam yet, and it's way overdue. I think it's going to be the Zaku. Yeah, I think it's safe to assume that I pretty much called this one. But anyway, it looks awesome. The new Gundam, a very popular design. Obviously, it's a very iconic Amuro Ray Gundam, so it makes sense for this to come out as a Perfect Grade. And like I said, I think it's been way past due. It's probably should have been a Perfect Grade ages ago, but now that it's going to be released as a PG Unleashed, a couple of things we can assume about this, just that number one, it's going to be, obviously fantastic, amazing quality, like we've seen with, kind of just everything that Bandai does generally in terms of their Gunpla, and just like with the PG Unleashed RX-78-2, fantastic kit, amazing details, amazing gimmicks with like the layering of the inner frame, different colors of the frame parts and the armor and everything. We saw stuff like photo etch parts, so safe to assume that those are probably going to be included with the new Gundam as well. And then there was also like the 3D stickers, the plastic stickers that go in there for like the little light bits and things like that. So safe to assume that that's also going to be a part of this release. So as far as anything new, as in like NEW, new that they're going to do with this release that they didn't do with the RX-78-2, I guess this one does have a base included, which is nice. I was always kind of sad that the PG Unleashed RX-78-2 didn't include any kind of base to be able to actually have it elevated and doing some sort of action pose. Would have been great, and would have been a great way to actually be able to show off all that fantastic articulation that it has. But it didn't include a base. This one looks like it is going to include a base, but it might just only be basically just something to just hold up the kit so that it doesn't fall over in a standing pose, and that's kind of about it. Hopefully it does come with some sort of other base to be able to actually hold up the kit, like an action base in some way, or Bandai makes some kind of action base that you can get for it or something. I don't know, but that's my hope. Other than that, I hope it comes with waterslide decals. That's kind of something, especially for as expensive as this kit is going to be. Hopefully it comes with waterslide decals, but other than that, if it's basically just very similar to the PG Unleashed RX-782 Gundam, then I think I'll be happy and a lot of people will be happy. So easy to assume the price point for this one gonna be over $300, probably $350, maybe even more than that. But like I said, we don't know yet. And again, I would assume the release date for this is going to be probably December in Japan anyway. It depends on like how the rollout of this goes. It may not actually be here in the US by the end of the year, we would hope, but we'll just have to see. So anyway, that's the big news. What do you guys think about the PG new Gundam? Are you excited about it? What do you think about it? Is this something that you were hoping for? Is it something that you were predicting as well? Let me know in the comments. But we did have some other announcements and some other stuff here to talk about, actually. So let's go ahead and talk about a few other things here real quick. Aside from the previously announced kits there on display at the event, we did also have some more new HG G-Quox kits on display there. The White Gundam and the Zaku, the regular Zaku. Both of these very predictable releases that we knew would be coming out probably sooner than later as well. So not really any surprises here, but those were actually there on display. And we don't have any information on the release of these, but probably you can assume in the months just right after the couple of the releases that we have on the books so far. The Red Gundam and the Light Cannon, these are probably going to be coming out like right after that. Aside from that, we did also see the announcement of a Gundam Base exclusive RG Burning Gundam Hyper Mode, aka the God Gundam Hyper Mode. This is going to be released there obviously as a Gundam Base exclusive. Kind of interesting that it's not P Bandai, but for these kind of kits, it's kind of one or the other, or sometimes it eventually goes to both. This is one I would assume that probably is going to be available through P Bandai, like here in the US and internationally, and maybe even in Japan. It will be available via P Bandai later on, just that it's going to be a Gundam Base exclusive for the time being. And then I can assume probably later in the year you'll be able to get it through P Bandai, most likely. But it's going to be coming out available there in the Gundam bases in Japan in March, and maybe Gundam bases elsewhere as well, I suppose. But the really surprising thing about this is the MSRP for it. 15,000 yen is really, really high. As I've talked about before, typically for any like plated kit, you can usually assume it's just basically like double the base price of it if it were not plated. At 15,000 yen, that basically makes this like triple the price of the regular kit. So it's very, very high. It does come with something more than just the regular kit in that it comes with a special base, like a display base, sort of similar to like the Master Grade Shin Musha Gundam, I think also has like a similar kind of like background base there. So it does have that. You would assume that maybe they would also include like the P Bandai parts sets with this as well. And then maybe I could understand the price point for it. But nope, it doesn't come with anything else other than just the new base, display base, and then just everything that comes with the regular kit. And it's gold plated. So I mean, it looks really cool, definitely. I mean, if you wanted a hyper mode RG God Gundam, I mean, you can obviously paint the regular kit gold yourself, but I think, the hyper mode looks really good as portrayed as this kind of like plating, a special like super hyper chrome gold plating. I think it looks really good for the hyper mode effect. So I mean, it looks really cool, but let me know your guys' thoughts on that. Any of you guys planning on picking that one up? I'm definitely not me for that price point, and that's way more than I would want to spend for something like that, but I don't know. If anybody gets one and would like me to build it for them and send it back to them, I can do that. If you want to send one to me, I'll review it and then send it back to you. I mean, because I would love to build one and show it here on the channel, but I'm not going to pay that much for one, so nah. Anyway, another new exciting thing, at least for me, was there's a new Candy Toy model kit series coming out called Gundam Superior Define. This one looks really, really cool, and it looks like they're going to be just small little model kits that look very similar to like the artifact kits in that they're just printed in just like one color, and it's like a resin type of looking color there. But they're these really cool, like really dynamic SD designs, and interestingly, the artwork is based off of artwork from Twitter artist Susagane. Really, really cool artist. I'll put a link to Susagane's Twitter or X account down in the video description below if you guys are not familiar with him. If you're not following him on X or Twitter, definitely give him a follow. But really cool artist, and really cool to see some of his works here getting made into some model kits. These are really, really cool looking. Really looking forward to these coming out. I don't know when exactly these are set to be releasing, but later this year, so that's really exciting. Really, myself, particularly looking forward to ones like the Hygog looks really, really cool. That and the Wound Warp being included in there is awesome. The Wing Gundam, of course, looks amazing. The God Gundam in there as well. There's another one. It looks like it's some sort of Musha Gundam. I'm not sure exactly which one. I'm not sure. You guys can let me know in the comments, but really cool new series of candy toys. And on that note, there's a bunch of other like candy toys and other different like figures and things like that, especially stuff coming out from like the G-Quack series. A lot of new stuff was shown there at the event that's going to be coming out this year. And I will include a link in the description also to the Dengeki Hobby page with like all the stuff from the event. You guys can look through that if you're interested in checking out some more of like the different, like I said, candy toys, keychains, acrylic stands, pins, and all that good stuff. You guys can check that out there on the site. But on the note of small model kits, guys, remember the announcement of Gundam Assemble not too long ago? That was, had everybody excited about like a Gundam tabletop game going to be coming out later this year. Well, turns out the card game is still going to be coming out this year, but the Gundam Assemble figures model kits are going to be pushed back to 2026, and that's not a good sign, I have to say. A lot of people, it seemed like, are pretty excited about that, but for whatever reason, it looks like those are going to be pushed back, and there wasn't really any kind of... They didn't even say, like, pushed back, because I thought originally it was announced that they were supposed to be coming out this summer, but now they're at the event, you can see, and then on their... on Bandai's official Twitter account there as well, you can see that has these releasing in 2026. So apparently it's going to be a little bit more of a wait for those Gundam Assemble kits there, unfortunately. And yeah, so all right. Anyway, one more point of news here just to talk about. Bandai rolled out a new Gunpla 45th anniversary logo and campaign there on the web. There's a web page there on their website for this as well, for the 45th anniversary. Some interesting stuff on there. They have a new commercial there with some model building her first Gundam kit there for a commercial. Kind of like how a few years ago they had the fun to build campaign. It looks like now it's kind of like a easy to build campaign. So basically kind of they're trying that whole shtick again, and we'll see, if it works out any better. I mean, so the goal, according to what they announced on Twitter, it said, in order to change the image that Gunpla is difficult to build, a catchy and colorful design that is different from previous anniversary logos was made. So that's the new logo. Can't say I'm a huge fan of the new logo or the campaign, generally necessarily. I mean, you want to bring more people into the hobby, of course, and so that's understandable. But if you go onto their Twitter and look at some of the replies, like all of the replies from both in English and in Japanese to all the replies seem to be that people want Bandai to just make more products and make them easier to buy rather than easy to build, because they're already easy to build, which is a sentiment that I would agree with. Yeah, I mean, like reprint more stuff that hasn't been reprinted in a long time, or just print more of new kits so that they're actually easier to get upon the release. Things like that seems to be like what people are saying in terms of their feedback related to this new campaign. And it's understandable, I gotta say. Bandai, I love you, and you make fantastic, amazing model kits that I enjoy incredibly. But sometimes these campaigns are a little bit misguided, I feel like. Obviously you want to bring new people into the hobby, and I'm not sure exactly how successful this is going to be. Really, it depends on if stuff like this campaign and these commercials and stuff gets to new people who wouldn't see it. I mean, if it's basically all of us who are already in the hobby who are seeing this commercial, I mean, it doesn't really do anything for us. People who are already fans of Gunpla, who are already, following Bandai, it doesn't really do anything for us to see a commercial about showing that Gunpla is not difficult to build, and even a beginner can easily build and enjoy Gunpla. I mean, I don't know, I don't really get it, but anyway, Bandai's trying to bring in new people into the hobby. It's a good goal to have, and that's what all of us here in this hobby, I think, want and try to do, especially those of us who are into content creation as well. I mean, that's one of the things that we want to do, is bring more people into the fandom, into the community, and be welcoming to new people, of course. And, we try to show how, Gunpla is easy to build and it's easy to enjoy, easy to collect, whatever you want to do with the hobby. So anyway, we'll see how that all works out. Last thing to show you guys here, Chocolate Gundam. Anyway, that's it for the announcements for today. What do you guys think about all that? What do you think about the PG in particular? That's the big news, but there's some other really cool, exciting news there. at the Next Future event. And yeah, like I said, it is also the GBWC finals this weekend, so I guess we'll see how that turns out. I have my thoughts and predictions on that, but I think I'll save that for a different video. For now, guys, thanks so much for watching, and if you guys want to check out some of the recent announcements that are available for pre-order, you can check the link in the video description to USA Gundam Store to pre-order some of that stuff there on the website. And thanks so much for all of your guys' support. See ya.